Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we want to bring forth to the stage a very special guest, the undisputed.
Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode.
Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing.
And this is your host. Nah, son, baby. Here we go.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not son, baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark, and I'm with the lady formerly known as Boss Lady, but fuck that, we're gonna say Boss Lady because she's tripping. We're about to take it back because, you know, when I first met her, she was like a drill sergeant. You know what I'm saying? She was like a drill sergeant, you know, telling me what to do, telling me to bring my books to her events, you know, telling me to wear my dress down, this, that, and the third. I was like, damn, she knows how to run a tight ship, you dig? And, you know, her group, Club Seduction, you know, it was based out of DMV. For the slow motherfuckers, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, not the fucking car spot. So, you know, that was my introduction in 2014 to the DMV, you know, lifestyle scene. And not for nothing, Mo, you know, back in the day, like how the DMV back in the day is not like how it is right now as far as the lifestyle, because back then it was like, if I don't know you, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Now, because of social media and because of the groups, it's like, you know, people are more welcoming for the most part, you know, for new faces. But back then, if I didn't have a gift for gab, I would have left your parties with a dry dick. So what you think the change that real talk, like for real, you know, I kind of, I don't like to kiss and tell, but I kind of played with your bestie, but kind of didn't. But that's a whole nother discussion because I had like a crush for, you know, Miss January Lavender, or the woman formerly known as January Lavender. I can say that now because nobody knows her, you know, her new name. But yeah, so I had a, huh?
Right. Right. Nobody would ever know her government name unless she chose to give it.
Oh, okay. See, that's one.
I still believe in discretion, even though I'm gone. I don't particularly care for the new lifestyle that's going on now. Just because I'm gone doesn't mean I don't watch what's going on. And for the most part, you still have some of the former people still trying to live by, I have to say, and I don't want to sound arrogant, rules that older people like myself set forth. It wasn't about who you are. When you came to see us, you were a family. You were accepted as family. I treated you like family. I looked after you as if you were my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew. I took care of you. I wiped your face. I cleaned up your throw up. I was like the mother, as a lot of people up in Baltimore call me Auntie Mo.
No, wait. You treated people like family, but some of your members didn't. It's like now they have like the open door policy, but back in CS days, it was like you couldn't go in somebody's room. You know, you couldn't go in somebody's room. They'll tell you to get the fuck out the room, but now it's like it's an open door policy. So maybe when you treat your members like family because, you know, you're hosting a party, but your members, like I said, if they didn't know you, it was like, fuck you. So
members, or are you saying staff?
No, your staff. I'm talking about people who came to your parties.
Okay, patrons.
Yes, patrons.
Okay, that's more. That's more. I can understand that, but I can't control other people's actions. I can check them, but I can't control them. And the respect people gave me, I could check them and somewhat control them. So anytime I have a knife fight in somebody's a hotel, and I send two women to their room, says a lot.
Did you say a knife fight?
People get alcohol in them, they turn into other people.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what environment they're in, the swinger environment, home environment. If you can't control your alcohol, a person will speak the soul of truth.
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see a person so somewhat of who they really are.
So why did you leave?
Why did I leave?
Yes, why did you leave the game? Because I never got the chance to go to your Wednesdays, your Wednesdays hump day morning play sessions. I never got the chance to do it. And when I had time, it was like, damn, you're not in the game anymore.
Oh, wait, whoa. Wednesday morning hump sessions. No, we had what was called vet parties. Nothing was in the morning.
It was Wednesdays, right? I know it was something like Wednesdays.
If it was a holiday, maybe a Wednesday, but more so we did it on Fridays or Saturdays. Out the blue. It was always a out the blue day before a party, weeks before a party, or after.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because I remember, I came, I forgot how I knew about, the DMV scene, but I remember it was my secret, it was like my secret stash to leave from, take the bus from New York to Maryland. Then all of a sudden, a lot of Northerners started going to, the DMV. And sometimes integration could fuck things up because, you have that close-knit family setting. And then when you have a lot of strangers, unfamiliar faces, it kind of fucks up the game. So do you think there was a difference between when it was just, people from DC and Maryland, VA hanging out, as opposed to, new people from like Philly and New York and Jersey coming down to check out your event? No.
And I love, as I say, my up top people. I love Philly. I love New York. I love New Jersey. Their energy is different. And that was the whole thing. I wanted to see what other states brought to the table. I wanted to meet different people. I wanted to see what the dynamics in Cali was like. When people from California would visit, Texas, Florida, Miami, New York, Boston. It was people, it shocked me how many different demographics of people were traveling to CS parties. And I made a lot of friends and met a lot of people. So it's a person's maturity level and how they carry themselves and what they want to gain from the lifestyle. That's the person that you meet.
So why do you think that, the lifestyle changed after your breakup, with you and your ex and your relationship? Because, your relationship was the nucleus. You feel me? And it was like after that dissolved, it was like people either left the lifestyle or went to other groups, or they were nowhere to be seen, because I don't even see the same people who used to go to club seduction parties around anymore. Either they're MIA just doing their thing underground, or they completely left the game. So why do you think you had so much influence for people to fuck with you? Especially, I remember 2014, your birthday bash, y'all locked down 3 hotels in one lot. All hotels sold out. So how you think you garnered that influence?
Being personable, going to other group owners. See, the trick to the game is humbling yourself. Never think you bigger than somebody else, and I never thought that. And I never treated anybody any different. I just treated people the way I wanted to be treated. I spoke to people the way I wanted to be spoken to. Now, if I had to bring the Southeastern out of me, that was something different.
Mm-hmm.
I could give you that in 2.5 seconds, but I try not to give people that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I sit down and we collab with the Lions Den.
Mm-hmm.
That was that was a hated time because the DMV was on lock for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted to give parties when we gave a joint party.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have to go back to why I did the things that I did. I had to go all the way back to when I first started. And I saw the first group we dealt with was Party of 10 in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Irvin. And I watched him, how he just floated around the room and how he had everybody's attention. And I was like, what is it about him?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched and I studied him. You would have thought I watched a female. No, I watched him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you want the people, you have to make them comfortable. You have to be able to blend in with different people. He said, you have that personality. He said, if you do this, you'll go far.
Because I remember, now you have, groups, new groups. Well, Lions Den came back, Tish came back. So do you see yourself lacing up your sneakers and doing a Michael Jordan to come back? Is that, is that in the cards? Because, if you snap your fingers and you want a Club Seduction reunion, because it's funny because I met your man, Fred Savage. I interviewed him for the podcast. And every time I see him, he always raves about Club Seduction. And, he worked security for your parties. And he was like, ain't like parties nowadays, groups nowadays, it's not like Club Seduction. It's not like Club Seduction. It's not like Club Seduction. So, I mean, if you snap your fingers, anytime you could have, the same thing that you had in 2014 with 3 hotels locked down in one lot. So do you have that itch that needs to be scratched?
No, I do not. Reason being, when I'm going to say retired, because 15 years is a long time. And when I retired, I said, I just can't anymore. The underlying beef, the backstabbing of different group owners because you are successful. And I've never been known to kiss anybody's ass. That's not happening. Those that choose to do that, knock your socks off. But when it gets to the point that a group is put together to talk about me and downgrade me because I left, and I did parties for a little bit after I left. I did it for a little bit. It just wasn't it didn't feel the same. I felt at that point, yes, I was over it. I just couldn't do politics. The underlying politics of different areas.
So what changed? Especially in the DMV, because I came late. Like, I came at the tail end of the turn up, and I was pissed off because I thought that I found a new home, and then even the DMV got saturated and confusing, and because Club Seduction, you no longer run Club Seduction, now you have a lot of groups that spawned from Club Seduction. You have a lot of mini-me's. So what do you think had changed?
Quality, atmosphere, what's allowed in, or should I say what shouldn't be allowed in. See, right now it's about, we all want to keep it 100. It was always about money, but what happened to the enjoyment? What happened to being taken care of? What happened to leaving something to be remembered? You go to a party now, there's nothing to be remembered of you going there.
And Fred Savage said the same thing. He said you had a lot of memories going to Club Seduction parties, but now it's like, it's just people walking up and down the hallways or holding up the hallways. Not a lot of fucking going on.
Because people don't know how to blend people. You don't know how to interact with them to make them want to meet other people. So they're just holding space to see what happens.
So how would you give, like, if you were to school or mentor an up-and-coming promoter, what jewels would you give him and her in regards to engaging your patrons and engaging your clientele, your members?
What advice would I give them to blend it?
Yes. Make sure that you leave as strangers, or you come as strangers and you leave as family. So because I had a lot of memories with Club Seduction. So I'm just saying, like, what is, you don't have to give up the whole game, but give them a little bit, because the game is to be sold and not to be told, baby.
Be true to who you are.
Come on, motherfuckers, they don't know how to comprehend that. Come on now.
No, I'm being serious. Be you. Don't give somebody a representation of what they think you should be. Be you. Don't be obnoxious because you see somebody else being obnoxious and you think girls like that. No, you think men like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with being mature and being sexy. And see, that's what's lost now. Women forgot how to be sexy. Men forgot how to carry themselves. The rules have been broken.
Listen.
There's a finesse to a man getting some ass at a CS party.
What'd you say?
It's a finesse. Women watch you as soon as you come in the door. But if you sitting up there, you up there loud, and you with the raw, they're like, oh no,
But like I told you,
come to me and find out, do I know you? That's one. Two, they're gonna watch and see how often you come. And 3, they're gonna watch if you got drama with you. If you come in with frequent women, different women at different times. That says a lot about a guy.
Wait. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with coming with?
But women don't want to be bothered with. See, that gives women that, oh, he's a player. But then you have some women that, hey, you for the team, so we gonna pass you around like you for the team. That's what we did. We passed you around.
Speaking of which, how you ever played at your parties? Because every time I saw you, you was like a drill sergeant. It was like you always had a game face on. I've seen you dressed down, but I always wanted to do. Like, sometimes I thought you was, like, asexual or something. Like, you like, didn't fuck at all. So, did you ever play at your own parties?
Yes, but mostly at the end.
Because I can never picture you playing. It's like you always in business mode.
Yeah, I had to be. One, because you're in an establishment that I have to protect. So, yes, I want to use that establishment again. So, yes, I'm walking the halls. I'm checking on people. I'm making sure you're not trashing the hotel. I'm making sure you're not trashing the little meet and greet areas that we use. I'm making sure you don't trash my home. People were in my home. So, yes, if I did, it was late at night. That whoever it was set up previously earlier within the evening. And if they stayed, fine. If they didn't, oh, fucking well. It wasn't a press type thing for me.
It's crazy. Like, at first, I wanted to play with you, but then after I saw your demeanor, it was like, damn, she may, like, rip my dick off, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna, I'll fuck her friends then, you know? I'll fuck her friends because I don't know, I really don't know about this chick because you're tall, you're very, you know, upfront, you know nonsense. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to give her whack dick and she talks shit about me to her friends because you have some sexy ass, you know, staff members. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the reasons why I came to Club Seduction. I took that 4.5 trip from New York. You know, I took, this is what I did. I took the mega bus to Union Station, D.C., from New York, New York Port Authority to D.C., Union Station. Then I had to take the red, get off to take the blue, to take it all the way to Largo, and then catch a cab to go to Capitol Heights. So, you know, trust me, it was worth the trip. It was like a 5.5 hour trip all together. So it was worth them trips, but you have some sexy ass staff. But the thing is, how do you pick and choose your staff? Is it looks? Is it, you know, of course looks first because you want to attract motherfuckers to your parties. But how did you set up your team? Because you're only as strong as your squad.
Normally, we would have done it within a party setting.
Because you have some sexy ass bartenders too. Anyway, keep going.
We will watch people, personality, and like you said, look, and how they carry themselves. Now, it has been times some of the admins did not like being critiqued on how they looked. They did not like being told to carry themselves a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
We never want to see us to be looked at as ratchet. Even though people thought that of us. Like, we just went go hard, it was what it was. No, we wanted to have fun. You come here, you having fun. Now, when you come in, you're not guaranteed shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have fun. You might not fuck a soul, but you're going to have fun. You're going to get fucked up. You're going to go home and say, well, damn, I'm going back again.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not play with a soul, but you had a good time at the end of the day. And that's what it's about, having a good time. If people get the, oh, I want to fuck this, I want to fuck that out of their head, and just pay attention to the surroundings you're in, you'll find you might find another CS. You might. I doubt it, but you might.
You know what? I used to think like that because when I first got in the game, because I've been in the lifestyle since 2011, so this makes 9 years. But when I first got in the game, I was like, yo, I gotta fuck this, I gotta fuck that. I thought my night was incomplete if I didn't get at least 3 nuts. But now it's like I'm just content. It's like I'm just content with just one play partner because I'm podcasting most of the time. So I'm just content with, you know, with just one good partner. So it's kind of like when you first come in a game, you gung ho, you want to do your thing, and then when you become that, that older lion, you just want to sit on a mountain and look down at the other animals on the prairie. So do you think that age plays a part too? Because you have a lot of old creeps out there, but do you think that age plays a part into how you carry yourself and your discretion?
Yes, especially with couples. Couples or smupples. Smupples are something like a couple. They just got married.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for something. And a lot of I call it the new generation, is too young right now. It's still milk behind a lot of these kids that's going to these parties here. And now drugs have infiltrated so bad. I think this is why I left. And if anybody wants to know why I left because I can't be a nanny. And I'm not going to switch who I am to please a younger crowd. I can't condone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I didn't want to do it. The way my attitude is set up, I just couldn't.
So how do you vet them though? How do you vet the newbies? If you don't want to see yourself as Auntie Mo, how do you vet your newbies or people who go to your parties?
Those that learn. I can't make you learn. You have to want to know. And those that wanted to know, even to this day, they'll call me. Or those that know me will send people to me and get the real of the situation. Not the smoke and mirrors, the glitz and glamour. Oh, yeah, you can do this. It's like something on TV, real sex. No, it's not. It's not. This shit is gritty, it's grimy. And if not walked into correctly, it can fuck up homes, break up marriages. And you will not walk away with the perception you thought you was going in with if you don't move correctly.
So what'd you say?
It's all about how you move. As a single, as a couple, it's just about how you move, what you want from it.
So how do you navigate your brother? Because him and his wife, they're very popular, and I always tell them, I said, your marriage is like the last hope, because it's like people will have a play session and then the next day they end the whole relationship. I'm like, you just met this person because you don't want the person, you just want the sex. So, your brother and his wife, they were married before they got into the lifestyle. So they got like the cheat code. So what are some of the jewels that you tell your brother, like the pitfalls, what to look for, even though, he already has a head on his shoulders and seems like that their relationship is solid from what I see, but what are certain things that you tell him to look out for? Because you have a lot of people, what they say, it's hard work to make money, but you have people who are working twice as hard to take what you're making. So what are some of the jewels that you tell him to look out for?
Well,
as far as the treachery?
As far as treachery, we were raised in treachery. So it's easy to spot it. It's very easy to spot it. And see, that's it. Don't let my brother smile fool you.
Oh, no. I've seen his.
He's very conscientious of what's moving around him. He might not seem like it because he's so laid back over trust and believe. He keeps his eyes open. And like I told him, that he lets his wife lead. And that's the best thing for him, and they're a unit. So I really didn't have to tell him much because he started before he really, really knew what I was doing. And I started for him.
Mm-hmm.
So they did their footwork, they did their groundedness, and they've been together. They were solidified with each other before getting into it, and that was the best. That was the best move they both could have made.
So how would you tell others to cope? Because you had a high publicized breakup. It was like on some Hollywood shit. So how would you tell people how to cope with a breakup? Because it was kind of messy. Well, not kind of, it was messy. So how would you advise people to deal with a messy breakup, especially when you're known and everybody knows your name and you really don't have that much privacy? Like, how would you weather the storm?
There's no way around it.
Because it was like, it was like, not to cut you off, it was like choosing.
I tried to keep it neutral.
It was like choosing parents. Like, should I go with my father or should I go with my mother? That's how people in the DMV were taking it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I felt it. I knew it. And some were directed and pushed But I'm not, how can I say this? I'm not going to cry with spilt milk. I came, I got conquered, and I walked the fuck away.
So did you feel funny when people stay neutral, or was you like, bitch, you got to choose sides? You know, so are you that type of person?
Even in groups. If somebody in my group or an admin want to go to another party, go. I'm not your mama. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned from that. They're going to come back and they're going to talk about it. And we will move accordingly. Oh, they don't. Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But no one can ever say, see us copied them. We were our own entity. We did things differently. And a lot of people and a lot of good owners always wondered what the whole jail was.
So how did you first get in the lifestyle? That's what I wanted to know. How did you first get in the lifestyle? Because if I were to see you on the street, I mean, I'm more wiser and older now, but back then when I was young, I would look at you and I was like, well, I can't see her in the lifestyle. Not because of your opinion or your appearance. It's because like the way you carry yourself and there's a stereotype like, okay, you know, women are loose, the way they dress, you know, this, that, and the third. But ever since I got in the game, you have different people from different walks of life who come to parties. So how did you come in the lifestyle? Because if I see you, I just, like from your pics, I see a security guard. But since now I'm seeing COs, police officers, firefighters, even government officials going to parties. So how did you first step into the lifestyle? How did you first get your whiff of the game?
I was introduced and didn't know what I was being introduced to.
So you're a trick.
It was more like coercion. I'm going to use that word.
What'd you say?
It was more like coercion. It wasn't something I set out to do.
Okay.
It was introduced in a way that it shouldn't have been introduced. And when you're young and impressionable, you go with things because you think the person that's leading you has your best interest.
So you stayed for 15 years, so that was something that kept you going.
You adapt.
Oh.
You adapt.
So you was on your Darwin shit, survival of the fittest, Darwinism in his bitch.
Basically, it was more of a, okay, if I can't beat them, fuck it. I'll join them. I'm just going to do it a little better.
So how did you evolve from party goer to group owner?
CS started as sensual Seduction on Yahoo.
Wait, hold on, Mo. CS, for the slow motherfuckers, is Club Seduction. Anyway, keep going.
Right. Before it was Club Seduction, it was called Sensual Seduction. I started it from a little Yahoo group that shouldn't have been, but I bucked the system and I did it anyway. See? So I said, okay, I want to do this. This ain't right thing to do. I like people. Fuck it. I'm already in it. Fuck it. Let me try my hand at it. And I did it. And it just grew. It grew. And I give credit. A lot of the decoration side of it came from my ex. I give him that. But the people person, what's the word I'm looking for? The
personable
customer service side of it was me.
Say that again?
The customer service side.
Oh, okay.
And it just grew. It grew for me. Started from a little 6-person gathering, and it just grew. It grew and grew and grew and grew.
So how did you feel when you locked down 3 hotels, not counting the people who stayed in the area and didn't or couldn't book a room? How did you feel when you saw all those people come to your party to fuck with you? All the groups, regardless of whether groups were beefing with each other, they still came. Or people had issues with each other, they still came. So how did you feel about people from different parts of the country and different groups coming together to party with you for your birthday party? Because there was a lot of people down there, and I was amazed. So how did that feel?
It was beautiful, and I loved every minute of it. It was people I haven't seen in years that came, and that party did it for me. And it led me to the question: okay, is this the end? What more can you do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what more can I give people?
Mm-hmm.
So it continued for a little while longer. Then there was no room to change again. I like change. It was no way to evolve again.
Mm.
I just my time to just let it go.
You even had people cooking in the rooms. I remember your boy, I think his name is Jay, him and his girl, he used to have fish fries, whole fish fries in his room. So that's one of the things that I remember, and people were buying them shits too. So I just remember certain things. I remember certain people. I don't see them anymore. So why do you think that people just fell off the wayside when you stopped doing parties? Because you would think that just because somebody's not doing a party or event, that doesn't mean that they should leave the game. So why do you think that's possible? You think that you had they came to the lifestyle to fuck with you, and since you're not there anymore, they just quit cold turkey?
I can't speak to them. I don't know. The love is different.
Because it's crazy.
It's a different atmosphere. The love is different. The environment is different. What I allow is other people don't. And I allow people to be them.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son, baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. It'll make you say, na, ow. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. And hit me up with any questions and or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace. And don't kiss them holes in the mouth, baby.